Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. How are you doing today? Thank you for connecting with us today. And we have a very beautiful topic in front of us, and we want every one person to be a part of it. So, just in case you're just coming in into this channel, please, we want you to hit the subscribe button just in case you haven't done so or you're not a member of our community. Please kindly do so that you can get the best out of today's class. And of course, share the link with somebody, your friend, your family, those that are around you that you want to benefit from today's webinar. Okay, we are going to be taking a very amazing topic today that people have a lot of questions, about. And by the power of God's Spirit, we trust to be able to deliver, because I prayed for this class and yay, here we are. So share the link with those in your community, share the link with those that are around you, share the link. I am doing my own sharing as I'm talking to you right now. I'm doing my own follow up. I'm posting in groups, I'm posting in communities. I'm posting, yes, I am. So kindly do that, share, hit the thumbs up, like, um, be here, get your writing materials, your notepad, everything you need to get the best out of today's class because you are thoroughly going to be blessed. Okay. So, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we want everybody to come in, get your friends, get your families, share the link with somebody, and encourage somebody to be here today because they have a whole lot to learn from today's class. Yes. Okay. Yes. So we are live. You're welcome to today's webinar, and we are going to be looking at a topic titled discipline. We're looking at something on the subject of discipline. Yes, on the subject of discipline. There's been a lot of um, thinking out there on discipline. If you're connecting, please let me know where you're connecting from. Interact with us in the comment section, in the chat section. Interact with us. Let us know where you are connected from. Let us know where you're connected from. Give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share. Let somebody out there know that we are having a beautiful time today in today's webinar. Yep. Yes, we want to see. I can see two people already connected, seated. Please let us know in the comment section where you are connected from. Yeah, let's know. Let's know. Let's know. Let's know. Let's know. Let's know. Yes, let us know. Let us know where you are connected from. Yes. Thank you for the heart. Let's know where you're connected from. And hey, all the way from Norway. Thank you so much, Auntie Emma, one of my greatest cheerleader. Thank you for being here. Okay. Okay, yes. I have people connected. Yep. Show me where you are connecting from in the comment section. And today we are going to be touching on a topic that says discipline that builds raising responsible and confident kids. Discipline that builds raising responsible and confident kids. Sometimes um, when you go about and you see someone, I don't know if it has ever happened to you, in the earliest days of my parenting journey, when I go around and I see a family that have a well-behaved child, I'm like, this is somebody's child now. Why is my own different? Why is this and why is that and why all the why? But there were quite a lot of things that I didn't understand because I felt like they got it all correct. Everything is fine, everything is perfect. I felt like, you know, everything was going on fine for them. But there was always a background work that is being done, by those parents to be able to achieve the kind of things, results that they achieved with their parenting. So we're touching base on the topic of discipline today, and I want every one person, I want us to participate, very, very, very effectively. So, what is discipline? What is discipline? If you are connected, please let us know where you are connecting from. So, what is discipline? What is discipline? What is discipline? People have different, I mean, even especially when you have in the African setting, what is discipline? And people believe that hitting a child is discipline. People believe that shouting, at a child is discipline. People believe all manner of stuff, concerning discipline. But we're here to bust quite a lot of myths today. So don't worry. I know you will have a lot of questions, and I'll be here, to take your questions. All right. So I want you to understand that discipline is not yelling or threatening. You know, that's one myth that we are going to be busting right now. Discipline is not yelling or threatening. Discipline is not physical punishment. You punish somebody. Discipline is not physical punishment. Discipline is not about controlling your children. It is not about control. In fact, even if it's, maybe they are not your kids or stuff like that, discipline is not about control. All right. So discipline is not immediate obedience at all costs. Like, you must obey me now. You must respond to me now. I'm talking to you. Is it not you I'm talking to? I'm sure some of us, if you're in the African setting, this will resonate more with you. And just in case you're just joining us, share this link with a parent, share with somebody that you want to take a seat here and be a part of today's class. All right. So discipline is not one size fits all. You can't say, oh, the way this person is disciplined, maybe you even have three children or four. You cannot say that you cannot say that discipline, the same discipline measure you use for Mrs. A is the same you are going to use for child B, or child A is not the same discipline you use for both children. You don't use the same discipline. All right. Discipline, they are on different, it's not one size fits all. Yeah, it's not one size fits all. So number top myth that we're going to bust today is that discipline is not an emergency. Please help me put that in the comment section, just in case you you are there, you are listening. Put it in the comment section. Discipline is not emergency. It is not emergency. Discipline is not emergency. Yes, it is not emergency. Discipline is not emergency. Yep. Thank you very much, Miss Esther B. Thank you for your support always. All right. So now somebody is asking me a question. So if discipline is not any of these things, what then is discipline? What then is discipline? Discipline is derived from a Latin word disciplina, which means to instruct and to teach. So not about punishment or control. It is about guiding children to make wise choices and develop self-control. Discipline is something you do for a child, not to your child. It is what you do for, not to. What you do for a child, not to the child. All right. Discipline is about helping a child, helping someone with self control. Okay. It is not about punishment. It is not about control. Say somebody, I'm talking to you, listen to me. It's not about control. All right. Discipline is a process of self improvement. And as I speak today, even you personally, you'll be seeing yourself in this angle of discipline. You'll be picturing yourself that in what area do I need to discipline myself? So that when you are using it against somebody tomorrow, or when you want to carry out a disciplinary action on somebody, you know what you are doing. All right. Yes, discipline is not an emergency. Thank you. Hello, Aceman community. Thank you for your support. So, discipline is a process of self improvement and personal growth that requires patience, persistence, and commitment in values and in goals. In the next few minutes, you'll hear me talking about values and goals a lot, and vision, because it is well connected to discipline. So it is not about control. It is about connection. All right. It is about shaping lives, not just correcting their behavior. You know. So you want to shape a life. You want to help somebody become better. All right. You want to shape their behavior. That is discipline. Discipline is teaching. It is instructing. It is different from control. Now, if you go back um, um, in memory lane, and you can do your research after today's class and look at how in the times of the slavery, things that were done to slaves, all right, things that were done to slave in the name of discipline, all of those things are punishments in disguise. And can you even imagine, by the time discipline or punishment wasn't even our first call? Let me borrow the word, like for Africans, it's not our first call. Why? Because in the time of the slavery, some people came in. I don't want to call that. They came in and they moved to control. They had slaves. They were punishing and keeping people by punishment, by with food, with shaming, with dragging, with hitting, with beating. If you go down memory lane, you find out that even our fathers, they weren't in the business of beating children. It was when these people came and the slavery journey began that hitting started. So you see where it came from. So when you're able to trace something to the root, you will understand it better. So go and do your research. Okay, go and do your research. Sometimes I say it a lot in our webinar, that I used to be a mom hitter, I used to be a mom shouter. I used to feel like you know, if I'm passing, that fear, that reverence. But hey, come on. By the time my family and I we sat down to write our family visions, our values, and our goals, everything changed, because depending on the kind of child you want to raise will determine the kind of disciplinary measure you want to give to that child. All right. Yeah, I know I got here in a hurry, so let me get back to the points that brought me here. So back in those days, they were hitting, under the slavery, and that sank into our culture, such that before we say we are talking to somebody, we are hitting them, and we feel like we are not heard until you hit a child. And for some people, my own time, I felt like, somebody beats me too, I'm going to beat my own. I have to get my own back from you. Somebody did this to me, I want to do my own back to you. Somebody did this to me, I want to do my own back to you. Okay, sometimes, or for those of us that we were, were here, it was more of a revenge. Yeah, it was more of a revenge. I said something earlier on that discipline is what you do for a child and not what you do to a child. Okay, we'll be touching more on that, but let's move on the journey. So we are going to the place of a family vision in line with discipline. If I just come in, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, share with people that are in your community, and let them come in and get in the right knowledge on discipline. So without a family vision, discipline will lack correct direction. Without a family vision, discipline is going to lack direction. You will even know where you're going to. So in my own family, our vision is to raise a generation of godly leaders living as kings in life, equipped to provide solution that transforms lives and positively impacts the world. That is my family vision. Now, that was crafted by my darling husband, to help us go in the right direction. Now, our family vision says to raise a generation of godly leaders, living as kings in life. So, if you want to raise kings, if you want to raise royalties, if you want to raise godly leaders, how are they disciplined? You see where the vision comes in now. How are they disciplined? So I'm asking you a question today. What is your family vision? What is your family mission? What are the values in your home? What kind of children are you hoping to raise? If you can answer these three questions, right, you will understand. You will know the kind of disciplinary measure you want to have for your children. I said, what is your family vision? The first question is, what is your family vision? The second one is your family mission. The third one is your values, the values in your home. The fourth one is, what kind of child do you want to raise? What do you want to achieve? By the time you're done with all of this discipline, what do you want to achieve? If I want to carry out the disciplinary action on my kids, I ask myself a question. So what do I want to gain? At the end of this, what do you want this child to learn? Do you want to spoil their self-esteem, or you want to give them trauma, or you want to help them to learn something? All right. So where your family is going will determine the kind of disciplinary measures that you are going to give to them. If probably you want to raise a tout, or you want to raise a hooligan, or you want to raise a drug addict, there's a kind of disciplinary action. By the time you hit and hit and hit and hit and hit, all of their self-confidence goes away, and they begin to look for happiness out there. And that is how some kids get into drugs, because somebody is hitting them. They are looking for solace. They're looking for something to calm them down, and they mix up with the bad friends. And before you know what's happening, it's long gone. So at the end of this webinar today, you will need to sit down with your family and ask your husband, ask your wife, where are we going? Of course, this is the role of the husband anyway, to craft a family vision, right? Of course, with the support of the wife, of the wife. So, where is our family going? Where do you see our family in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years? Where do you see us? That would help you to craft your family vision. All right. So I talked about the family vision. Our core values in my own family is number one, faith in God, love for one another, leadership, excellence, teamwork, and honor. Okay. That's our value in our house, because we realize that, yes, we like my son, at some point in his life, he didn't like to do things with people. So instead of slapping him and hitting him and saying, can't you join your sister? Can't you do this? Can't you help in the house? Can't you do? Can't you? There was no structure. Because if there was a structure, all of those things will be done effortlessly. We are not there yet, but we are making progress. And I'm not here to preach perfection to you. I'm not here to come and make you feel like, hey, what have I now been doing? No, I'm not here to do it. I'm here for us to be better. I'm on my own parenting journey as well. I'm on my own parenting journey as well. And I don't want to, maybe in the next 10, 20 years, by the time we get to a particular point in the parenting journey, I don't want to find only my kids there. Hence, we have this community, such that all of us, we can move together. And by the time we are moving, we are all seeing ourselves in a tracker of progress. All right. So the place of a family vision, a family is not just a group of people, it is an institution, and every institution is built on these 5S. I have some 5S. I think I added one to it, 6S. Every institution, you want anything you want to do in life, if you do it with these 6 things, you are going to be so successful. Trust me. Trust me. And I like to tell Christian parents that God's only plan to populate the earth is through the family. He doesn't have another alternative. That's why when Jesus was going to come into this world, God didn't just say, then somebody appeared from somewhere. No, he came through a family. That's God's only plan. All right. So we talked about the S. Number one is your schedule. Number one is your schedule. You want to write that down. Number two is your structure. Number three is your system. Number four is your skills. You that you want to raise children. What are your skills? Number five is your strategy. And the sixth one is solutions. So now you find out that you are hitting a child, you are doing this, you are doing that. But I want to ask you a question. How many books have you read on parenting? You are going to give birth to a child that is going to be a life changer, that is going to be a destiny changer. You've not read anything. So you are going to react. And I like to tell parents, parenting without goals will lead you to reactivity instead of proactivity. You don't have a vision, you will keep on reacting. You are reacting every time. Sometimes somebody is upsetting you. Sometimes somebody is doing this. Sometimes somebody is doing that. You will just be reacting. But I've told you people, I have you find out that you are yelling, you are shouting, there's no calmness. Why? Because you don't have a strategy, you don't have a system, you don't have a structure, you don't have the skills. And one of the skills you need in your toolbox for parenting, number one, is patience. Yes, patience is the number one tool you need in your parenting journey. In your toolbox is patience. I want to ask you a question. If a Donald Trump's father gave you Donald Trump to raise, how will you raise that child? How would you raise that child? Will you raise the child with, you want to do everything, in your power to ensure that this child comes out better and best? If Mark Zuckerberg was given to you, to parents, to say, please let me look after this boy, he's going to be an innovator in the next couple of years. Please help me look after this child, I'll be back. I will be back. Yes, I will be back. How are you going to do it? Won't you get all your arsenals out? Won't you get all your tools out? Why are you not doing it for your child? I'm asking, why are you not doing it for your child? Why? Why are you not doing it for your child? Parenting is about you. It's not even about your child, it's about you. As I speak, you begin to see quite a lot of things uncover. You begin to see your childhood. You begin to see where you are coming from. You begin to see where you are. And you begin to see where you need to be. This year, how many parenting classes have you attended? How many parenting courses have you taken? How many webinars have you attended? Some of us in the community, we drag you, attend, like we have posted in the community now. We still have a few people that are here. More people are supposed to join us. We want you to come in and learn. Somebody say, my children are teenagers. What do they? I don't need all of this. I laugh. Let me tell you something about children. From age 0 to 7 is your planting season. From age 8 to age 12, 13 is your nurturing season. From age 13 to 18 is your coaching and mentoring season. If you miss a season, you pick weeds in the next season. So choose, make up your mind. When do you want to pick your weeds? My daughter is 7 this year. There are some weeds I'm currently picking out right now. Weeds that I'm picking out. Why? I don't want to pick it out in the next season. I'm putting in all my effort, all my every energy. I'm putting it in to pick out those weeds. If you miss the season, as a parent, you need to know the season you are in per time. You need to understand your season per time. Who are those you even need in this season? Your friends that you had when you were single are most likely not the friends you will need when your child is at age 7 or age 6. Who are those that you need in your season? Yes. And just in case you're just tuning in, please share the link with somebody. Let them come in. Let them come into um, and be a part of this class. Yes, yes. If you miss a season, that's just it. It's done. It's over. You are gonna spend uh, you're gonna spend a whole lot, you know, trying to get that season back. And if you are in the webinar, if you are in the community, there are quite a lot of things that you would um, understand, because we help you to understand your season per time. We help you to understand your season per time, and for the community, by next year, yes, by next year, we are going to be doing by next year we are going to be going, you know, it's going to be like a paid community. So that, because we want to hold people accountable, I want to be able to hold people by their hands and work with them. So even if it's 5 people I have by next year, I don't even mind. As long as I know that these 5 people, I'm going to work with them to ensure that their parenting is excellent. So just in case we've been dragging you, come and watch webinar, come and do this. I just said myself that your situation is not critical. If you're doing critical, you will sit down. You sit down and watch webinar. Parenting is about you. If you don't, you cannot out. So you need to 6S that you're going to be needing, to ensure effective discipline. We said schedule, we talked about systems, we talked about structures, we talked about strategies, we talked about solutions. We thought about solutions. Last academic session, my daughter, she had a teacher that was taking her in school, but I wanted our next session success to be intrinsic more than external. So when she was preparing for her exam, I kept on rehearsing. Hey, Chrissy, you need to read. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do that. Me, the before reactive parent. Oh my God, you would have the kind of cane that you would have taken. But I kept on helping her to understand. You need to read. There are times that I sat with her. There are times that I did some stuff with her. There are times that I helped her, gain some kind of knowledge. But at some point, she was beginning to rely on me, and I said, "No, you're going to be alone in the exam hall. How do you want to cope? How do you want to survive? You can't have me every all the time." So at the end of the day, her friends got recognition and awards. Then she came to meet me and she was crying. Mom, they didn't give me an award. They didn't recognize. I allowed her to vent. I helped her to name her feelings, how she was feeling at that time. When she was done, I now asked her a question. I said, "So, what are you going to do about it?" And she looked at me straight in the eye and said, "Mom, I'm going to try better next time." You see, now the motivation has come from inside, not from outside. The motivation has come from inside. Say, "Mom, I'm going to do better next time." I said, "Good." So on the road to doing better next time, I looked at the places where she wasn't doing so well. We started working on that. I noticed that she had her handwriting was also a factor that was affecting, our efficiency. So I said, "Okay, we're going to get you to write. You're going to do writing every day." I got a good teacher on handwriting that sat with her and ensured that she's writing. And in the space of 3 weeks, her handwriting has gotten better, improved, such that by the time she's going to resume in grade 3, the handwriting has become a lot more better, and she can move forward with that. I even would say that maybe why she didn't even do well in her academics was because of her handwriting, because probably she doesn't even write well. You see, I put in the right system, I put in the right structure, the strategy, and there's a schedule, there's a day, every day she needs to write. So you see, discipline is about teaching, not about punishment. Yes, before we got to this point, there were times that I will hit her hand, I will flog her, I will beat the hand and say, "Right way, right way, right way, right way, right way." But it didn't work. But with this strategy now, it is working. Because one of the things that discipline does, punishment, why you do punishment is because you want results. Nah, 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 nah. That's microwave parenting. When you hit a child, when you punish to inflict pain, is microwave parenting. Ask yourself a question. What do I want this person to learn? In the last academic session, my kids, I noticed that especially my son, didn't like to do things with people. I mentioned. So what did I do? I went to meet his teacher in school. I had a meeting. I told the teacher that, hey, teacher, this boy does not like doing any working with people at home. He likes to do his own thing. He doesn't like to do teamwork. So I say, hello, teacher, please, I need your help. Let this guy be your teacher's assistant. That's how my son became my assistant. So he will rearrange the chairs. He will put this thing, put communication in. And before you know what's happening, we are not there yet. You see, so I'm not here to preach perfection. We are not there yet, but we are on a journey. Same as my daughter. I went to the teacher, I said, teacher, teacher's assistant. She's going to be your teacher's assistant. And some of us, because we don't know who our children are, we tend to resort to punishment. And I don't really blame you. We don't know better. I was like that too. So you ask yourself, a child, a question, who am I parenting? You have the hardwired child, you have the firewired child. Who are you parenting? How is this child learning? Because your child learning style will also determine the kind of discipline you will give to the child. Learning style. How is your child learning? Is your child a kinesthetic learner? That means they like to learn with their hands. Is your child a visual learner? Is your child an auditory learner? That means once they hear something, it stays. My daughter is a kinesthetic learner and a visual learner. My son is is an auditory learner and slightly a kinesthetic learner. I mean, all children learn, but they have their hierarchy. So you have a lot of homework to do. What is your child's learning style? How does this child learn? There are some people that are called societal learners. That means if they don't learn in a group, if they are not learning in a group, they will not learn anything. If they are not in a group, nothing is going to stay. If you show my daughter something easy, you can even be talking to her and she's looking everywhere else. Ask her the same question. She's going to tell you. There was a time we were doing homework together, and for some reason she did something and I raised my voice at her. And she said something, Mom, your voice is too loud. And I'm like, okay. The African woman in me wanted to come out and say, my voice is loud. you know. And I asked her a question. I said, tell me the things that I said. She told me everything. That was when I knew that meant my voice was really loud. Was really, 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 really loud. Yes, was really loud. So you would need to know your child's love language. You need to know your child's learning style before you can even administer uh before you can even administer a discipline action. And remember, the goal of discipline is to teach and to instruct. So before you hit a child, ask yourself a question. What do I want this child to learn? That the only way to solve problem is by hitting? Is that what you want this child to learn? Because this is what they are going to carry. Okay, how can I help her be a visual learner? I'm coming. So they are going to carry this attitude into their future, where they are going to. Before you know what's happening, all these the men that are beating up their wives, how did they get it? They saw it modeled. The wives that are beating up their family members, where did they see it? They saw it modeled. So you see, legacy is not even whatever your disciplinary action is right now is part of legacy. The reason somebody beat you was because somebody beat somebody that beat somebody that beat somebody. You can rewrite it. I'm here to prove to you that you don't have to hit somebody to be able to pass your message across. Your home should be a place where your children are running to, not where they are running from. Where they are running to, not where they are running from. Not that when they are afraid to come home. Some of us were afraid to come home. Our self-confidence was out of the window, such that anything goes. Some people were abused, some people were raped. Why? Because they couldn't say no. Somebody hit them. They couldn't say no. So it's beyond, oh, I must beat. I must beat. Somebody say foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. But the rod of Bible says the rod of correction. My sister and my brother, whatever you determine is your rod, is your rod. Whatever you determine is your rod, is your rod. And go and do a careful search. That rod was even to guide the ship. It wasn't to hit the ship. It was to guide the ship. That rod was used against the enemy. If something is coming to attack the ship, that is what that rod is used for. Go and do your research. says thy rod, and don't forget, if you read Psalm 23, it says, thy rod and thy staff comforts me. I mean, do the math now. You did the y dx, and if x is this, what is y? Put it in. Put it in. Put it in. It says, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The rod is supposed to comfort. Your disciplinary measure is supposed to comfort. It's supposed to comfort. When your children look at you and say no, you see a lot of us were slapped. So what do you mean no? You don't say no to your elders. Bam, that's how a child has been raped. That's how a child has been abused. Why? Because you have told this child that when you say no to people, when you say no, you don't say no to elders. You don't say no to people that are older than you. Bam, they are raped. They join bad gang. They get into campus. Somebody meets them first and show them the way and help them to do registration. Before you know what's happening, boom. And the person, they feel indebted to that person, but they are not indebted to you because they are running from you. Come on, mommy and daddies. Let's stop this hitting things. You can, even the Lord Jesus said, you are clean through the words that I've spoken unto you. He didn't say with hitting, he didn't say with spanking, he didn't do any of that. There was no place in the Bible that was recorded that Jesus was beaten. There was no place in the Bible that was recorded that Jesus was beaten. He even showed his parents Shege. They went for Shiloh. He disappeared for 3 days and came back. I said, we are looking for you. He said, why are you looking for me? I'm in my father's house. Try that as an African parent when you were growing up. I'm in my father's house. They will beat the Messiah out of the child. Say, is it because we are the Messiah? What's wrong with this one? The person that they are already beefing, they will beat the Messiah out of the child. They will beat the Messiah out of the child. But, his parents, because they knew the kind of child they were raising, they knew. So some of us that were here, when we were pregnant and we're just waiting for the day that we're going to deliver, what was your communication plan with God? The name you even gave your child, where did you get it from? Is it for the name you give to a child is not for your victory, it's for the future. The name you give to a child, that's why names are very important, is for the future, because that's the name that you are going to be calling the child over and over and over and over and over again. So in the times when you were waiting to give birth, in the times when you were waiting to get pregnant, what were you doing? Were you asking God, this child that is coming, who is this child? How do I handle this child? Tell me about this child. Some of us now, school is going to be resuming on Monday in Nigeria or in some African countries. It is on Monday morning you will remember that you anoint the child and say, I bless you, go and prosper. The devil you are playing with is not playing with you. The people that you are competing with, they've been initiating their child since they went on holiday and say, see, as you are going to that school, you are going to take over, you are going to do this, you are going to do that, you bring everybody to the coven. You, full of the Holy Ghost, full of the Spirit, what are you doing? What are you doing? I have a communication book here. I have a book right here where I journal, it says, this is for my son. I have for my daughter as well. This is for my daughter, our daughter. We're writing it. And it says, this is what God told us about you in our quiet time. This is our book. Yeah. I hope you can see it. Yes. So we say, treasures from our quiet time with God for you. Imagine, and of course, while I'm praying for them, God is talking to us. I have, pages, I have things written there, the prophecies. Imagine these children at age 18. I'm giving them this book. This is for my daughter. At age 18, I'm giving them, or let's say 12, 13, I'm giving them this book. That these are my communication with God. It's having a child is a whole lot. Of course, I discovered all of that on my parenting journey. What are you doing? You see why you yourself need to become. If you don't become, your children cannot be. If you flog them from now till the future, if you don't make that necessary change, that change you are looking for in your child, that you are hitting them, you will not get it. My son was doing something, he was pinching my body, and I tapped his hand like this. And he looked at me, he turned and looked and said, Mom, did you just hit me? Of course, in a smiley tone, Mom, did you just hit me? And we both laughed. And I just said to myself, I said, see this boy. Before now, my daughter, if I raise my hand like this, she's like, and I'm like, hey, is this who I am? Is this who I am? Yeah, I see you. I see you. Yes. So I asked myself a question: is this who I am? Is this me? Then my son, when my son came on board, of course, I started learning my parenting and all of that. If you do like this for my son, he will give you a high five. I said, he give me a high five. I said, yes, that is it. Raising a children in the place where their self-confidence is not out of the window. Their self-confidence is not out of the window. Some of us, we have hit the self-confidence. We have yelled the self-confidence out of our kids. Hit it, yelled it out of our children. Hit it and yelled it out of our children. Their self-confidence is shattered. Am I encouraging bad behavior? Oh, no, I'm not. And that's why we shared our strategies earlier on. If you put all of those things in place, like this holiday season, I had a schedule. I'll share it in the community. I had a schedule that I drafted for my daughter, my son, based on their learning style, based on their love language. So I know their love language, I know their learning style. So I drafted a schedule in an 6 to 8 hour schedule for them that they know what they are doing part time. Did we follow the schedule all the time? Probably, maybe not. But it was a guide. And that reduced yelling. So when my daughter comes to ask me, Mom, what are we doing now? And I'm like, have you checked your schedule? So she will go back to the schedule and go and check. She say, Mom, what's the time now? She'll check the time, she'll check her schedule, and she'll get about it. I went for a program recently, and she called, or rather, I called because I was running late. I called the house. I'm like, hello, Christine, I'm going to be running late. I have a meeting. I'm with Pastor. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. There was no question she didn't ask me on the phone. Okay, so Mom, where are you now? Who are you? I said, I'm with Pastor Chris. I'm having a program. We are with Pastor. I explained. He said, okay, are you staying over? I said, no, I'm coming back home. Are you do for like 5 minutes? She was asking me questions. So she asked me the same question she has asked again. I answered her. Then after a while, and I said, and I put the phone on speaker. I said, can you hear Pastor speaking? I'm in a meeting with Pastor. So she said something that really touched me. She said, oh, okay, Mom, I understand now. She said, bye, Mom, see you later. I've explained so that when this girl turns 18 and I'm making demands, so where are you? Who are you with? She will not say, oh, Mom, you're just being too boss. She won't say that. She would answer me because she made the same demand from me. That is the work of discipline. Yes, that is the work of structure. That is the work of system. That is the work of strategy. All right. So we are moving right along. So discipline versus punishment. So what does discipline do? Discipline teaches and trains for long-term change. Punishment focuses on consequences, immediate consequences. All right. Focus on immediate. Na 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 na. The child misbehave. Bola. The child is, you slap the person. Oh, go and kneel down, hands up, and close your eyes. You are wasting time. You are wasting life. Do you know how long God has given you to parent that child? There are many things you should be doing. All right. Discipline is rooted in guidance and connection. It is rooted in love, right? Punishment is rooted in control. You want to control the child. There was something that happened. I went somewhere and we're coming back. My daughter came down from the car and she was like, oh, Mom, I didn't like what you did. I didn't shut her down. I didn't say, how can you be talking to me like that? Me, your mother. I didn't do that. I'm like, oh, my darling, what did I do? She said, I needed help coming down from the car, but you didn't help me. But I usually help you when you come back from work, and I help you carry your things down from the car. I said, oh, that is true. I'm sorry. I was tired. I needed to use the restroom. That's why I quickly rushed in. And she said, okay, Mom. And I said, do you forgive me now? She said, yes. And the matter ended there. Not too long after that, like 2 weeks after then, a predator came into my house. And this predator was going to be touching her in her private areas. But because I'd learned to listen to her, I'd learned to give her attention, I've learned, to be calm with her. She was able to talk to us. We didn't shut her out. She was able to talk. So you see the long ripple effect of your discipline. I say, come on, shut up. Come on, get out. Come on. This is how bullies are made. This is how bullies are raised. All right. Discipline addresses the root cause of the behavior. Your child does something to you. You are asking, one of the questions you should be asking is, what is this child's behavior telling me? Probably your child lies or your child told you a lie. Ask a question. Don't say lying, lying. Don't label a child. People are not their behavior. Ask yourself a question. This behavior that this child is saying, what is this saying? Is it the need for love? Is it the need for connection? Is it the need for somebody to be there? Is it? And for those of us that we have replaced our parenting with screen, well, that one is for another day. So punishment often reacts to symptoms only, what the child is doing. But discipline, you are looking at the root cause. How can I fix this thing? If you go to the root and fix it, you will have a healthy tree. You will. Remember, we talked about the planting season. So if your children are between the age 0 and 7, just clap for yourself. You are in your planting season. All right. So discipline maintains dignity and relationship. Yes, maintains dignity and relationship. Then punishment can damage trust and connection. The child will not be able to trust you. You know that moment where let me leave that for another. All right. So discipline comes from your love. All right. Punishment comes from your anger, comes from your fear. Discipline says you made a bad choice. Punishment says you are bad. You are a bad child. That's what punishment does. All right. Discipline says, I care about you to help you learn from this mistake. Now, I have some few people joining us online. We have we say failure. What's the opposite of success? Who can tell me the opposite of success? Type it in the comment section. Opposite of success. That's a brief, quick assignment. Type it in the comment section. What's the opposite of success? What is the opposite of success? I have some people online. I want to see you. What is the opposite of success? Okay, somebody said failure. Somebody said failure. Okay, I see failure. I see failure. Yeah, somebody said failure. But do you know the amazing thing? Let me shock you. Failure is not the opposite of success. In fact, failures and mistakes are integral part of success. Look at the person that created electricity. They did it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until they got it. So failures and mistakes are ladders to success. The opposite of 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 success is indiscipline. Indiscipline. Because if you are disciplined, you will do it and do it until you get it right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you got that down. So we'll move to the next one. So discipline teaches someone to behave in accordance with rules and focusing on future behavior. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Auntie Emma. All right. Punishment inflicts suffering, for past behavior, hoping to change future behavior. All right. So, what are the effective discipline strategy you as a parent? Number one, model good behavior, use positive discipline, be consistent. Do not lapse. Don't say it today and tomorrow you change your word. They will say, "No, mommy, she's not consistent with her. This is a bit. Some of us even had parents like that. It's not daddy. If I love him, love him, love him, love him like this, he will just leave me alone. Be consistent. Stand by your word. We went somewhere. I told my daughter we went somewhere. I told my daughter not to do something, and she did it. So one of the things that I use in my own home is more of consequences. We are moving. We were on flogging before. We move from flogging, we move to consequences. Of course, there are some other ones. You have the reward system. Reward system should not be all the time, so that your children doesn't have to always be expecting something before they can behave in a very, on their have their best behavior. Some of us were raised that way. We were given biscuit and sweet and chewing gum to be able to to be able to behave properly, right? So we went somewhere and she behaved in a particular manner. Meanwhile, before we got there, I said, these days that we are going to, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that. She did the exact thing. And I said, okay, fine. Since you have done this thing, that means the next place we are going to, you are not going to go there with us. So we went there. It was a play center and she loves play. Omo, she was crying and doing everything. I was not moved. In fact, on the the people that we were on the same table together were wondering how I was that calm. I said, this thing does not move me. Yes, I said that this thing that this child is doing, it does not move me. And at the end of the day, I stood to the end of my consequences. And she knew that, this woman, next time, so the next time we're going to go out, I said, hey, madam, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. She said, okay, mom, I understand. And she didn't behave. But if I had gone and I broken my rules, she would say, it's not this woman, she's not consistent with it. So you model good behavior. You told children don't lie. You say don't stop lying. Why are you lying? Don't lie. But you tell lies. They hear you telling lies. A vendor or somebody is calling you, you say they should say you are not around. But you tell lies. How do you want to model that? Then you hit a child for what you are doing that you don't want him to do. Discipline is not an emergency. It's not everywhere is hot. Everywhere is hot. Some of us school is going to be resuming, and some your children miss the school bus, or you're trying to get them to go. You will walk. You're gonna walk. You do it. If you don't go to, if you miss your bus, two of us will stay at home. I'll give you a pint of beans to pick. You pick beans. You wash cotton. You help me with the house chores. I need help. Yeah, gonna do it. You help me. You wash cotton. You mop floor. You walk. The next day, nobody will remind you to wake up early and be on your way to school. Nobody's going to remind you to do that. Okay. So, what is the effect of punishment? Effect of frequent fear on the child's brain. That's punishment. Frequent fear on the child's brain. Mental disorder, brain shrinkage, emotional dysregulation, internal and okay, self-fulfilling prophecies. Yeah, becoming future bullies and victims. If you continue to punish your children and continue to hit them, they become future bullies. So we told you that the vision, what's your plan? What do you want to see in them in the next years? Whatever you put in now is what you're going to harvest. Parenting, is a journey, it's not a destination. It's a journey, it's not a destination. So what you want them to be in the future is what you put in, now. All right. Moving right along. Discipline is not a reactive punishment, it is a proactive training. You can foretell when a child is struggling. And in our last webinar, if you know what the last webinar, the one before that one, go and watch it. That's all I can say. We talked about the 3S. We said you should spot it, stop it, and swap it. Spot, stop, and swap. All right. So if you're able to do that, you'll be more of proactive. You can foretell, is your child struggling with a behavior? When your child does something, even if you have correct, ask yourself, is this person struggling? Have you taken it to the Lord in prayer? As I was doing this handwriting business thing with my daughter, every morning when I'm having my devotion, I'm saying, Lord, help me. This girl is writing very well. Her handwriting is perfect. It is getting better. I will lay hands on the hand. I will touch the muscles in the finger and say, you are writing well. I don't have a good handwriting. Why? Because when I remember vividly, my parents didn't buy me handwriting book because they felt like it was not important. And I'm paying the price. heavily today. So that is a pattern, and I don't want that pattern to repeat itself. What pattern are you currently putting down? What pattern are you currently exhibiting? What pattern did you bring from your parents into now? Parenting in this 21st century, you can't use old pattern. Even Jesus said you cannot pour new wine in old skin. You can't do that. How many books have you read? How many parenting workshops? What information have you put into yourself? One of my systems of sports swap and stop, sports swap and sports swap. No. Let me take it again. Sports stop and swap. One of my system for that we use is that every 3 months I look at the schedule and the things that we run in the family. I look at our calendar. I run it by my husband. We have a family meeting, where we want to be doing something, and we review it. Is this thing working? We give it 3 months. It's not producing the result. Any kind of result, we swap it. We put it into another thing. We put it, and the children are learning because their information quotient is increasing. So that thing that you think that they are mixing up with friends, people are giving them information. You want to, in the time they were parenting you, was there anything like AI? No, there wasn't anything like AI. In the time that they were parenting you, when if you buy a DVD player, maybe then like pornography, you buy you're watching that kind of stuff on your X-rated movies on your TV, and NEPA takes light. Ha, that you go and be looking for where to plug the TV and remove that CD. But now it comes to everybody. You open an ad on the phone, they are showing you voila. So you can't use that system now. You can't. You can't. You need a structure. You need a system. When you're done with this webinar, go and sit back. And one of the things that we help you to do in the academy is that we can help you with your family, guide you on how to write your family vision, guide you on how to write your family values. We can guide you on how to do all of
It's
that.
21 hours.
Yes. Okay. Ooh. We need to run. We need to run. We need to run. We need to run. So, okay, I needed to come up. So, discipline is not a reactive punishment, it is a proactive training. It provides structures for growth and decision making. Sorry about that. That is an alarm on my phone. Okay. All right. So, discipline helps children understand consequence and develop values. That's how your family values are being formed, because somebody understands what the family is about. So when you are carrying out a discipline, there are some 4 things I want you to come on. Okay, can I have you up now? All right, when you are carrying out a discipline, there are 4 things I want you to bear in mind. Number one, what do I want to achieve with this discipline? That's one question you need to ask yourself. What do I want to achieve with this discipline? What is my child's behavior communicating? Is this behavior age appropriate or crying for guidance? One of the things that we did recently in our house is that we had the family rules. Okay, family rules. And one of the family rules is that you don't have to cry about everything. You don't cry about everything. Use your words. We are not a mind reader. So imagine you having all of those kind of rules, and you are able to they have a guide. All right. So is this behavior appropriate? Is he a child? Is it, what those kind of right? I was talking to a parent, and the parent was telling me that my child lies a lot. My child did this, da, 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 da. And I asked the question. I said that, did you watch what do you call it? Did you watch Marvel movies? He said yes, he watched Marvel movies. Marvel movies is somebody's lie, somebody's imagination. Do you think your child is imagining rather than labeling the child and saying the child is a liar? Wait. The person that wrote Marvel, what's the person trying to achieve? It was his imagination. Is it true? No. Did you enjoy the movie? Yes. Some of us even went to the cinema to watch it. All right. So discipline is a reflection of your parenting structure, not the child's behavior. All right. I will begin to wrap up here. And there are five pillars of effective discipline. I said that earlier on. For those of us that are just joining in, there are five pillars, Yep. Help your child to develop discipline and helping your child develop self discipline and resilience. Set clear goals, expectation, and boundaries. Homework first before screen time. Instead of saying, I will seize your tab, I will not do this, I will not. Finish your homework, you watch your tab. You want to go and play outside, oh, you finish your homework before you do this. You do this, then you can do this. Okay, be consistent. If bedtime is at 8 o'clock, be consistent with it. Encourage and praise positive behavior, not just the outcomes. you know like maybe your child did very well. One of the things you can say is, you are getting better at this, keep it up. Before you say, see my child, you are, hailing them. Before you know what's happening, they will looking for that hailing. But if you praise their effort, say, wow, you put in so much effort in this, well done, good job, well done. You get it now. So, and nurture responsibility and accountability by assigning age appropriate tasks. In my house, my daughter, my son, we have age appropriate tasks and assignments. And at last week or so, I think 2 weeks ago, we had an award certificate that I gave to them, on upon doing that. All right. So common excuses parents give and why they don't work. Structure reduces chaos and confusion. If you don't have structure, your house will be chaotic. Look at where your house is right now. Is it chaotic? You don't have structure. That's what it means. Unpredictability is the enemy of discipline. They can't predict it. You say, how our parents say, you can't, hey, I can change for you. You don't know me. In fact, that's another thing. Some common excuses: I don't have time, I am very busy, I can't keep up with school events, I can't do this, I can't. While all of this is valid, remember, time is a currency of destiny. You must create time if you want to raise children of purpose. You must create time, and we are almost done. So, handling defiance. What is defiance? Defiance is often a signal, not an attack. Stay calm and curious, not reactive. All right. Use choices to give autonomy. Do you want to clean up now or in 5 minutes? Maybe your child is doing something and you want them, maybe we are going now. Instead of bringing everything, say, can I give you 5 minutes to get that done? Will you be done in 5 minutes? So it helps the child and say, hey, mom is waiting for me. Instead of going there and go and be dragging them. And this, if you're a wife, this also even applies to even your relationship with your husband. When my husband comes back home and is sitting down, I give him a glass of water or juice or something. And while he's unwinding and calming down, if I have some things I want to talk about, I'm like, hey, babe, oh, my husband, there's something I want us to talk about. So, how many minutes do you want me to give you? And he'll be like, okay, give me 20 minutes. So, at the back of his mind, he knows that, hey, I have just 20 minutes to do whatever I'm doing, surfing my phone. I just have 20 minutes. All right. So validate emotions before correcting behavior. You can say, I understand how you feel. Sometimes maybe my son cries, they say, I understand. Help them understand. And sometimes you have to share your own life story with your children. Don't make it look like everything was prim and proper. Did you struggle with something growing up? Share it with them. Let them know that they are not alone. This thing too happened to somebody. So how did you come out of it? How did you overcome fear? How did you overcome anger? How did you overcome stealing? How did you overcome those kind of behavior? Share with them. All right. So managing distractions and screen, establish screen time routine and family tech rules. Like in my house, you don't use screen everywhere. In my dining, there's some places you don't use screen. It is non-screen area. In my house, you must eat at the dining. If you don't eat anywhere, you eat at the dining. In fact, my son will come and meet you and say, Mom, you're not doing the right thing. Dad, this is not where we're supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat at the dining because we have put in that structure. So if you are trying to break the rule, he will come and remind you, say, madam, daddy, but you said we should not be eating here now. Why are you eating here? All right. So encourage active alternative plays, chores, reading outdoors. If you come to my house, almost from my kitchen to everywhere, you find books. In fact, I have a library beside my bed. You find books everywhere. I read almost everywhere. And because they see it as a culture, this is coming from children that use screen a lot. So they get to do all of that. They go and say, Mom, can I ride my bike outside for 10 minutes for this? And I have a timer. Oops, I didn't come with it. So I'll set the timer and say, okay, you can go for this number of time and you can come back. All right, dangers of excessive screen. Oh, ye mothers of screen, come and hear something. It reduces attention span. Yes, it reduces sleep disruption, aggression, and mood swings. De- delayed delayed language development, poor academic performance, reduced physical activity, social skill deficit, obesity, reduced creativity, and lowers empathy. All of this thing happened to my daughter because she was brought up with screen, and it was a total mess. It was really a whole lot. At age 4, she couldn't speak clearly because she was on screen. Age 4, 5, we were struggling to hear her speak. We almost, in fact, we visited, I had to speak with a neurologist. I spoke with, who didn't I look for? You know, I told you something, that if you refuse to plant, you will pick weeds. So it's up to you. Is that how you pay the price now or you pay it later? Either way, in the voice of my coach, Coach Wendy, you're going to do the time. Yeah. So teaching respect and accountability. Children mirror what they see, model respect. If you shout at children and say, come on, get out of here, they will say the same thing to you. That's what you have modeled. You have told them that this is how we talk in this house. If you shout them, if you call them names, they will call you names. They will call you stupid. When you are not there, they will call you names. So what exactly do you want to model? All right, mirror it. So let natural consequences be their teacher. I shared with you how my daughter didn't do so well in our last academic session because, and I wasn't there to say, hey, you must do this, because I wanted her to natural consequences of her action so she can see it. And before you know what's happening, say, oh, mom, I'm going to do better. All right, encourage repair and reflection. What can I do to make it right? One of the things that we did during the holiday was a tire game. You know, growing up now, we used to roll tires. So I got two bad tires that I had in the house in my compound. We did a race from one end to the other. Anybody that doesn't come first, I'm trying to help them understand winning. And even if you don't win, crying is not the solution. What are you going to do about it? So one of those races, my son didn't get to the finish line. And before he would have started crying, said, okay, don't worry, mom. I'll get it next time. It's the teaching. It looks like a tire race, but you are training that child for life. All right. They used to, my kids, they will be asking you, can I get this? Mommy, buy this for me. Daddy, buy this for me. I said, how much do you have in your piggy bank? By the time they tell me what they have in their piggy, I say, that means we need to work. I said, do you know where money come from? My husband and I were educated them on money. Like I always say in our webinar, there's a woman on my street. Our values align with my values. They go there to go and do entrepreneurship every day for 1 hour. They are learning buying and selling. So when you get there and you stand for hours, the woman will pay them. Of course, after paying them, they give me the money. I put it in their piggy bank and they record it. So you can understand where money comes from. All right. So focus on effort and growth, not just outcome. I say parenting is about process, not just the progress. The process, the process, the process, the process. And if you think your child needs a mentor, you think your child needs a guide, get a mentor for your child. Of course, somebody that your values align. Don't say, is my child, my child, my child. My child is my best friend. Daddy and mommy, go and look for your best friend. Go and look for your own best friend. Let the child be the child. Let the child have his or her own friends. If you need to have a mentor for your child aside you, which you should have, right? So they see things from another angle, help them to understand. Help them to understand. If you need to get them in an academy, you need to put them in a system where they are supposed to be doing that, help them to do that. Community and accountability. Parenting is not done in isolation. You don't parent alone. That's why we have this community. You know, we have the wise wife, we have the ace men, we have the fem academy, we have the Bible club. You cannot raise kings in your bedroom. Your bedroom is too small to raise kings. What is a king without subject? What is a king without subject? All right. So some of us, you say, no weapon formed against my child will prosper. You are reigning, you are ruling, but you treat them like slaves. They do something, you take away their food. They do something, go and check how slaves were raised. If that's your current parenting style, you need to make a change to how kings are raised. One of the things that we are putting in, when we go to church, I attend Christ Embassy. So when we go to church and we are watching documentary, my children are always excited to watch documentaries because they watch documentaries a lot at home. They watch documentaries a lot. So the next phase for us is we are picking a documentary. How are kings raised? How do they behave? What do they do? My daughter, before now, before my parenting journey, she used to eat with her two hands. She will eat here, there's soup everywhere. And we're like, why are you eating like this? Why are you eating like this? Until we started eating together. At the dining table was when we discovered that, hey, this girl is eating like this. We just found that everywhere is messy. And she said something, said that, this is my first time of eating with everybody. I said, wow. And we kept at it. If you have not listened to that webinar, the family altar you didn't know you have, you are wrong. Auntie Emma, tell them. Surround yourself with others who share your values. Be committed in the community. When we talk about something, be a part of it. Don't just, shrug it off. Be a part of what is happening. Contribute in the community. Your voice is somebody's ladder to their next parenting step. So don't deprive that person of it, all right? Join or create an accountability group to share wisdom and support. If you are not, we have an academy called for the wives, we have for the husband, we have for children. Please go and carry your chair and sit down in that academy and learn a whole lot. There's a whole lot. We have a carefully curated calendar that we run and we share every day to help you understand. So discipline teaches, punishment controls. Connection is the foundation of correction. If you don't connect to a child, you cannot correct the child. If you did not hear me say anything in today's webinar, hear this. If you don't connect with a child, you can't correct the child. This is one book I recommend to every parent. Connect to Correct. This book changed my parenting trajectory. Yeah, I told you about reading. You have to read. I read this one too. It talks about the discipline that works. There's a discipline that doesn't work. Discipline that works. Then there's this one. Discipline is not an emergency. It is not an emergency. All right. You tell your child, go and read your book, but they don't see you read. How do you want to inculcate reading? How? You're always pressing phone and watching video and laughing. Hey. That's what they're going to mirror. So set clear rules, and create safety. Defiance is communication, not rebellion. Accountability stems from mutual um, respect. So my final encouragement to you parents is discipline rooted in love raises children who are confident, capable, and compassionate. There's a whole lot to share with you on discipline that I can't share with you in one video. So we'll keep, reviewing. So you are raising future adults, not just children. Each discipline moment is an opportunity to build character. All right? You are raising future adults. That child you are raising is an adult. And at age, if you know you are going to do it, you did a good parenting job, is when your child clocks 18. That's when you know whether you tried or not, or if you are managing. That's what you get to do. So it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I like to tell parents every time I have an opportunity to facilitate a course, I say, parent the child that you have, not the one you are praying for, not the one that you are wishing for, not the one you are hoping for, that one that lives in your house. Parent that one. Get all the tools that you need and parent that child. You want to raise a Mark Zuckerberg. You want to raise a Dangote. You want to raise a Donald Trump, but you have not read one book to help that child. Are you seeing where this thing is coming from? You have one book like this you have not read. One webinar you have not read. Say you are busy. And stay in one class, you have not stayed in any class. How about now? Parent the child that you have. And for you to be able to do that, you have to become so that your children can be. So I'll be drawing the curtain here. I'd like to say a very big thank you to every one person that has connected with me. Just in case you need counseling, you need one-on-one coaching, you have questions, you want to ask questions, you can send us a message in the Wise Wife Academy or in the Fem Academy. Send us an email, send us a message, and we'll pick it up right from there. Auntie Emma, please, if you can help us drop the phone number for the Fem Academy so that people can chat us up. If you have people that you want to join in the academy, for men, if your husband, you're listening to this video and you're wondering, how can I get more? How can I get more? How can I get more? Well, we have an academy. We have a community for men, and their topic this week has been mind blowing. I've been following it with my husband. It has really, really been And of course the wives also testify to it. All right. So I want to say thank you so much for being with me today. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please kindly subscribe to this channel. If this webinar moved you in your parenting journey, share this link. The replay is up immediately after the class. Share the link to at least 10 parents and get them to watch. Because if 5 people have their parenting, if you have if you're parenting well and your neighbors are not parenting well, your own parenting is at risk. It's a simple logic. Your parenting is at risk. If the marriages around you is from divorce, one person is divorcing, your own marriage is at risk. So, what information are you going to put in place to help you become that person? I challenge you today. I want to see you send a message. I want to see you send a DM. Send us a message. You have questions. You need coaching. You need clarity. Like, we have some resources for you to get. Like, we have the back to school pack. It's a pack that has many things for you. It has prayer guide. It has affirmation. It has your meal timetable. Part of the things that usually cause chaos and hassle is what kind of food you want to eat. It has a meal timetable that is balanced for you, that you can pick up from there. You have the activity chart. You have a calendar to help you keep track of your parenting journey, of their academic classes. It's quite a loaded toolkit, and it's just for 1,000 naira. Semester or DM copy. You need wondering how can I do it. It also has a devotional guide for you to be able to carry out a family devotion, at the time that is most convenient for your family. So it's a well-loaded pack to help you read. 1,000 naira will reduce chaos for you. It will reduce chaos. All right. So you to oh yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So it reduces chaos for you. We have that toolkit. Then your children will be going back to school. We have something called the user manual. Earlier on, we're talking about your child learning style. Some of us will be going to new classes. We are meeting new. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you. Thank you. It's a beautiful one and heartwarming. Thank you. Now we have um a user's manual guide. You also need a user's manual guide. All these things are very, very cheap, and there are things that will reduce chaos for you. The user manual guide is a manual that you fill and you give to your child's teacher. This will help your child's teacher understand your child. So nobody is hitting your child. I tell the my children's teacher that don't hit my product. This is my product. All right, this is my product. So there's a way I correct this product. There's a way I talk to this product. Don't hit my product. So I give them the manual. I give them the manual. I give them, in fact, my children's teacher, they are in this webinar. They are in this community. I ensure the next class I'm going to go to, I'll drag them, they'll be here. Because I want them to be hearing what I'm saying to other parents all around the world. And that's where they spend most of their time. Most of their time, that's where they spend it. All right? So I'm doing all of that. I give them the user manual. So I say, Mrs. Akiyelu, you are so detailed. I say, yes. I say, yes. I'm so detailed. I have to. I don't want you to spoil my product. This is my hard-end product. Don't spoil it for me. All right. So we have the user's manual. It's just for 1,000 naira. You fill it in. It will that user's manual will even help you to understand your child. So we have the user's manual. We have the back to school. And recently we had a class on finance. That class is still available for replay. And we're going to be having another class this month, raising the financially literate child. If you do all of these things and your child cannot manage money, cannot handle money, man, is over. So you're going to be learning practical steps, practical things to do to be able to raise financially literate child. That's good. That webinar is on the 25th of this month. I don't want you to miss it. So we had the intimacy class too for parents. Your intimacy style can also affect your child. Can also affect your discipline, just in case you don't know. If everything is your intimacy is not as it should be, you'll be reacting. You'll just be shouting everywhere. Why? Because somebody didn't do what they are supposed to be doing. So we also have that class, and we have a book that is on intimacy, Sacred Flames. You want to get that book. And of course, I'm going to have a book on parenting coming out this month. Drum roll. Yes, you want to read that book. It's on parenting, biblical principles on raising children with value, children with purpose, and children with vision. Yep. So I'd like to say a very big thank you to every one person that connected to this live stream today. Thank you so much. You made it work. You showed up. You made it happen. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video. And don't forget to share the link in this video to somebody that should be benefit from it. My name is Pastor Biola Akinyelu, and I am your favorite parent coach. Yes, you can call me that. Your favorite parent coach. You need more resources, send us a message, send us a DM, and yes, you have become. Thank you, Perpetuna. You have become. Thank you for staying with me till the end. And I'll see you hopefully next week. We have our webinar every Thursday. Hopefully, if we're not going to be here next week, we'll let you know when we are going to be here. But until I come your way again, bye for now.